Hi everyone, you can see it's Christmas. Merry Christmas. We just decorated the house last weekend and it's so fun and festive. I just had to kind of show off some of it. Today I'm going to show you the things that I've been making. And it's not just November. This is what I've been making since summer. I used to sew constantly when I was a kid. I was one of those that I went to school with almost a different outfit on every day. I had the advantage of making model garments. I worked for a company called Showcase of Fine Fabrics. It was a spin-off of Joann's. I don't think it's around anymore. That was back in the late 70s, early 80s. It was a great store. We had top of the line. We had Liberty of London. We had silks. We had ultra suede. We would have a biannual sale and people would just line up at the door. It was like Black Friday. So it was a wonderful place to work back in the early 80s, high school / college, and that's where I loved to sew. I sewed before that. I was in 4-H as a kid and just kind of dabbled with it, but didn't really sew a lot till I worked for the fabric store. And that's where I love sewing. Made the bridesmaids. I made bridesmaids dresses for my wedding, for a couple of other friends' weddings. Now, I don't do weddings anymore. I'll just put it that way. That's a lot of hard, tedious work, and you can buy dresses so cheaply now. I wouldn't even recommend it unless you just want to make your own dress. Otherwise, don't worry about it. But when I worked for Showcase of Fine Fabrics, I wanted to go to design school. So I was in college at the time, just at the local junior college. And at Texas Women's University, there is a program, and it's still there. It's fashion design. They have merchandising and design. I took the design course. I did a whole year, and it was amazing. I got to study under Les Wilk. And look him up. He's no longer with us. He passed away, I believe, in '95. But he was amazing. He worked for companies like Brandeis, and he talked about designing Fabergé eggs, I remember. And I didn't even understand what a big deal he was till just recently, and I'm looking him up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this was a big deal designer. And he was our professor. Nicest man you could ever meet. And he taught us the back end of design and what to look for. And we did runway shows in Dallas, and we traveled to New Orleans for a colorist and chemist convention, and we got to design and showcase our garments. I was in Make It Yourself with Wool contest a few times, and I don't know what I placed at all, if any. And I don't even have any of those garments anymore, I don't think. I think I got rid of a lot of them. But we did a lot of fun things. And my design, I don't know, trademark, I guess, was I did a lot of embroidery. So I remember doing this wool suit, and around the base of the jacket and the skirt, I just free-formed the zigzag just all over. And Les helped me with it. One thing he did tell us, he says, when we go to the judges, take however many hours that it took to design and create and sew and finish, and take it times 10. So if you did, if you spent 50 hours, it was like 500 hours, or 5,000 hours. He was just like, make it big. So I thought that was kind of a fun tip that I had, remembered. So then, I had my family and I had kids, and I really didn't sew a whole lot. I did sew for my girls, my two oldest girls, for a little while they were in elementary to junior high. And then I just kind of put it up. I was just busy. I was just kind of burned out, and I've picked it back up again, and I have picked it back up with a vengeance. I love to sew. I have created our front office into my sewing space, and that's where I go to relax, unwind, show different types of techniques to you guys. And I want to show you what I started out with this summer. I was watching Mimi G's video on making a t-shirt from a t-shirt that she already had, and I thought, that's brilliant. When you're in design school, everything is so technical and so, by the book. I finally learned how to design outside of the book, and that has been freeing. So I took my favorite Chico's cami. I guess it was a tank. It wasn't a cami, it was a tank that just fit perfectly, and I made a pattern out of it, and then I just did a real simple straight skirt with elastic just to kind of get my feet wet back into it. And I've, you know, since honed my skills and just make things harder and harder and harder. So I wanted to show you the things that I've been making this summer. Now this was based off, I believe, of a McCall's pattern, I think. I'll find it and I'll list it below, so be sure to check that out. It's just a nice little cowl neck. It feels kind of felted, almost suede-y, and it's a knit. And I remember as a kid when I was sewing, I hated sewing with knits. I love them now. You know, be sure you use a stretch needle or a ballpoint needle. Test it out on a sheet of paper. Test it out on a piece of fabric and just make sure that's how you want your seams to look. So I did just a very simple, you know, I didn't do anything fancy. I just serged and turned under, because binding sometimes is tricky. So that's another thing I want to master. And I found these fabrics at Joann's. So I have this little skirt. It's got just a little slit up the side. And this is based off of a Chico's skirt that I loved that fit really well. I just measured it out. And so this turned out to be a really cute top and skirt outfit. Let's see. And then I found all these fabrics from these little outfits. I got, I believe, all at Joann's. So this, again, is the little cowl. It's just so cute, and it's really easy. It takes like an hour to make this pattern. And then again, this is one of my favorites for summer. And then you can throw a little black cardigan over it if you get cold. You know, you could belt it. Again, super simple. You got elastic waistband and a little slit up the side, just like my Chico's outfit. So there's outfit number 2. I mean, I was sewing these up like crazy. It took like an hour for the skirt, an hour for the top. Voila. So this was made from the pattern I drafted from my Chico's tank. I don't know why that word's just not coming out. And I thought this was really cute. Again, it's kind of a felted, maybe a viscose. It's a little thicker, I think, than a viscose knit, but it's a knit. Let's see if it's I don't remember if it's a 2-way. Yeah, it's a 4-way knit. Again, I got this at Joann's. Again, you know, this looked really cute with I have a black cardigan, a short sleeve, kind of a shrug almost, that I put over that for the summer, because you go inside and it's chilly. And here's another one that I made. This one is a little thicker, so it's not as drapey as this other, but it's still cute. And I like to wear it with a cardigan, again, just to add, when you add one more layer, it just finishes it off. So this was a fun little summer outfit that I made. Didn't even have a pattern for either one. I made the pattern from my Chico's top and then from my Chico's skirt that I wore to death for like the last 5 years. Then I was discovering indie patterns. This was not a thing when I was young. Everything was Vogue, Simplicity, Butterick, McCall's. We did have Boulder in some places. It wasn't, you know, we couldn't download anything at that point. So it was hard to find, and then you have to add I don't know if it's the same now, I should look it up, but you had to add the seam allowance, and it just seemed like a lot of trouble. So I didn't really play around with Boulder. We had stretch and sew, see and sew. I didn't do a lot of knits back then, so I was kind of, you know, I did wovens. That was about it. And so I found Tessuti Fabrics, and they have this pattern called the Mandy Boat Tee. Well, I made 3. This is my favorite one. I don't know why this one fits better. I think it's the sleeves. If you make this pattern, add a little bit more in the sleeve. I find the sleeves a little bit tight on me, but this is one of my favorites. And it's just this one again. You can make it up in, I mean, you can make it just completely with a serger and a cover if you have a cover lock. What I did here is I serged it, and then I used my, let's see, which side? I was kind of playing around. Yeah, this is the front side. Then I used my twin needle. I don't know if you can see the twin, but I used the twin needle just to make that a little more professional looking. Same with the hem on the sleeve and the hem on, you know, the very bottom of the top. So then I was at Hobby Lobby. I think that's where I got all these. And they're just fun little shirts. Again, they're a little tight. I should have measured a little bit better. But, you know, for something in between, you know, you could throw it on, half tuck it, put a sweater over it, you know, a cardigan. They're just really fun shirts to make and wear. And you know, Christmas, it's not a fitted shirt. So, you know, check out your friends or family's sizes. And so I was thinking about this on the way home from Hobby Lobby today. There's something I want to make for a friend of mine. So I thought, I know what size she wears, so I'm going to go to that store or online and find out the sizing and then match it up with the sizing of patterns. Pattern sizing is not the same as retail, you know, ready to wear, not at all. So if you maybe you're a size 4, a 2 to a 4, you might wear a size 8 pattern. Don't let that freak you out. I wear normally a size 8 in ready to wear. I'm like a 12, 14, 16 in patterns. So don't let the numbers trip you up. It's just a number. So let me put these away because I have been making other items. I found a pattern to make pants. I wanted to kind of play around with matching up sizes and, you know, just kind of playing around. Pants can be tricky when you make them because sometimes, you know, people are curvy, sometimes I'm not curvy. I have, you know, I'm just like a box, a rectangular box. But I wanted to play around with, you know, the zipper, you know, putting that in. I did use this fabric. It has cameras to line the inside, and I took the pockets out because this pattern had pockets in the side seam. That's not attractive in pants. I found they just kind of bunched out and I didn't like it, so I just stitched it right up. And it has a little faux placket back here to make it look like it has a back pocket. But I thought this fabric was fun, and they're just fun to wear. It's a stretch denim. I believe I got this at Joann's. When I was, you know, coming back to sewing, I was buying a lot at Joann's because it's like a mile away from my house. Okay. I went to New York City this year with my daughter Melanie, and we went to see Lion King. So I bought this fabric. I think I got this at Mood. I ordered it online, I think. So I found this pattern. I'll have to put it down below. I don't really remember which one it was. I don't know if it was Wardrobe by Me. I don't know. When I first made it though, I didn't realize the wrap was gonna be like right under the bust line. And I don't usually like to wear things like that. It just makes me feel kind of strange. So what I did was once I wrapped it around, I kind of pulled the tie down and tied it a little bit lower. So it kind of elongated me. I need some length in my torso. But other than that, the dress fit beautifully. And it was so fun to wear to see Lion King on Broadway. That was my very first Broadway show. My daughter bought the ticket for me for my birthday, and when we went to New York City, we had a fabulous time. My feet hurt really bad though. Take good, comfortable shoes. I didn't at first, and I suffered for that. So lesson learned for next trip. So anyway, I got this at Mood online, I believe. If there's still some, I'll put the link down below, and I'll find the pattern that I made. The pattern was really easy. It was a little confusing, maybe like right in here to put it together, but I did the best I could. And when you start out sewing, use a busy pattern because a lot of problems and mishaps get hidden really well. So that's one of my tips for you today. Okay, Itch to Stitch. You have to go on their site. It's an amazing site. And I wanted to make like a denim jacket. I bought this fabric at Mood online. And so this is like a denim, like a Levi's jacket. This is the Atlas jacket. I think I'm saying that right. Super fun to make. Tons of pieces. There's a lot of pieces. But I went ahead and I did the whole thing. I found these buttons. These are the regular buttons you would find on jeans. And they have a nail in here, and you put that on there and you just kind of hammer it down. Real easy to do. Super simple. Just take your time with this. I did put the welt pocket in here, and it's just, this is a real soft, almost, you know, it's a twill, it's a cotton twill, but it's real soft and kind of felted. It feels a little suede-y, I guess. It's not suede. And I just didn't put, the only thing I didn't do was put, I was so tired of sewing after this one. I think I had 10 hours, 7 or 10 hours tied up into it. I did do the flat felled seams wherever I could. And it's really easy to do. My tip on that is to serge the seams separately. Then you have a tip to turn under, and it makes it pretty even. And then you just stitch down through there. So this was a really fun jacket. I love this jacket. And so Itch to Stitch, I'll put the link below where I found that one. My youngest daughter wants me to make her one that looks kind of snakeskin, kind of a denim snakeskin. So I'm on the look for that. While I was at Mood in New York City, man, I could have spent all day. I wanted to make a bomber jacket. This is one Wardrobe by Me, has this bomber jacket. And it was not the easiest thing to make. For some reason, it was, the instructions just kind of left me hanging in some parts. So I'm like, well, how am I supposed to do that? Especially around the pocket. I mean, I know how to do these pockets, but for some reason it looked different. I did line this jacket. I really struggled with this one for some reason, and I don't know why. I did find, and I'm going to put the link to the video. There is a video that someone did in another country with another language, but thankfully she put it out there, and you know, it's all visual anyway, so I could see what was going on. And so I love this fabric. I just thought it was so much fun. I don't know if you could tell, but in the belting, let's see, like right here is like a cheetah print. That's why I put cheetah on the inside lining. And the inside, I haven't lined anything in years. I was a little nervous about it. And this lining, it was fine until I got to my corners. Again, I couldn't really read the instructions that well and understand them. But I got it to work. You just keep at it. If you get frustrated with sewing, which you will at times, just walk away. And then you'll come back and you'll be fresher about it. Then I pulled out the pink and put the banding through here. So again, it was a difficult pattern to make. And my daughter, Melanie, who I went to New York City with, picked out some fabric. I'll go ahead and post the picture here. And then you can also see it on Instagram. And I made her one. I did not use this pattern. I actually hacked a McCall's pattern, and I'll put that below. And just drafted it that way. But I love it, even though this was a hard one to construct. I learned a lot through that. So let's see. Okay, where are we here? Oh, Itch to Stitch. Let's go back to Itch to Stitch. You have to have this pattern. This is a gorgeous pattern. It's really easy to construct. I think 2 hours. I did notice that her sizes are a little small on me, so I bumped up a size or 2 just so it's comfortable. I like things to kind of just be drapey and not tight fitting. So this is the Brazov. I'll put the link below, and it comes to the side, and there's pleating at the side. You know, it's just a little wrap, and this goes underneath. It really goes well together. I've made 2 so far, and I may make another one, and I may even bump up the size just a little bit. This was the smallest one, so I need to exercise a little bit more to get back into this one. It's not too bad, really, and then you can put a jacket over it, but it is such a lovely pattern to work with. Everything that she creates is so well thought out, well drafted, well constructed, and the instructions are amazing. So again, that's Itch to Stitch as well. So then a month ago, I guess it's been a month ago, I went to the Springs, Colorado Springs, and met Judy Kessinger. She had a workshop on how to fit pants. I didn't bring the pants down, that's okay. So I thought, well, that would be a really fun thing to do. So I went down, it was at the sewing center called Myer Sewing Center. They're the nicest people, just very accommodating. They served us lunch. I didn't expect lunch. I thought that we'd have to take a break, go get lunch, come back. But it was so wonderful. They service, or they sell Babylock machines. And they did, I think they had a Juki. I know they had lots of Babylocks. So we didn't even have to bring our own sewing machine. They gave us sewing machines to use. I had the Joy, and it's just a very low end. I believe it's like $199. So if you're looking for a sewing machine, go to your local Babylock provider and check that out. It's like, you know, it's $199. And it didn't have all the bells and whistles. You know, it doesn't automatically cut, but it sewed beautifully. So if you want just something simple that does buttonholes, straight stitch, zigzag, maybe a couple of decorative stitches, look at the Joy. It truly was really good. So anyway, met Judy Kessinger. She's a wonderful lady, so full of knowledge that I could not absorb enough. She brought clothes that she made, and she created this Fit Nice system. And this Fit Nice system is amazing. And we ended up making, you know, we fitted the pants to us, we measured, and we just kept trying on and pulling in, and, you know, just trying to get them to, you want your lines to go straight. You don't want something to kind of curve in unless that's what you're going for. But, you know, for most pants, you just want them to hang just really straight, and you want to use good quality fabric. So we used this knit, I forget what it was called. You know, something like a Ponte would work. I mean, you can make pants out of anything, really. So we made them fit us, and then we used this elastic, this corded elastic, and you make 4 stitchings around it. So it's not elastic that's going to turn and twist and turn. I hate that. That's nothing more frustrating than that. And then if you want them, you know, smaller, then you can pull the draw cord. So nice and comfortable, just really nice black pants that we've made. And so this is the system. I did buy all of her books because I like all the gadgets. And the thing I love about this, like if you want to make this jacket, all you have to do is get the QR code and go to this, and you have a video. And this is all throughout this book. You know, here's the Catherine top. And so use the QR code, use your basic pattern, QR code, make some adjustments, and voila, you have a pattern to make. Apparently this is her daughter right there in the center. And then here's the other book with just basic techniques. Like I said, I haven't sewn in a while, so it's all coming back, you know, because, you know, I've done some pretty intricate things, and I just take my time. And so I love this. You know, here's different pockets you can make. And again, this has the QR codes built in, just like this. And then she'll provide you with some pockets and collars. I did use this collar on a jacket. I'll show you in a moment. So do look for the fitnicesystems.com, and you can check out her videos. She's also on Instagram and Facebook. And here's what I've done. I bought the master top pattern that I use for jackets. Anything I wear up here, jackets, tops, and I'll show you a few in a minute. So I have my master, and you get something like patternese or tracing paper, and you never cut into this, ever. So then you figure out your measurements, and she has a system on how to do that. It's really simple. And then you make your pattern, and then you create your master pattern, and you don't cut from that unless you've deviated in size. And then you can create your knit top pattern, add a little bit of allowance for woven, and then you can create, you know, I have a master dolman. Here's my master woven top pattern. I keep all my necklines in a certain spot. Facings, you know, I've created some facings. There's a collar. pockets. Not everything came from this. This was from a McCall's pattern. And I just love this pocket so much. I used it on this jacket, actually. And the jacket I made for Melanie, and a jacket that I made this weekend. Jackets I used to be really terrified making when I was a kid. I love them now. I want to really master the lining. That's my next goal. I know how to do it. It's just tedious, you know. So the Master Woven Princess Line jacket, which I'll show you in a minute. I have that one, and here's the pants. Again, you have the big Master pattern. It's in a big sheet, and she will tell you how to use it. Here's mine. This one fits me, and this was the bomber jacket that I made from my daughter Melanie. I didn't use all the construction. I pulled out some things from here and used to make that jacket. So that was super fun. So I keep it all organized in this binder. So now I'm going to show you what I have made outside of the pants. I forgot to bring them down. So I call this the penny top. And really all it is, this is a knit. It's a poly knit. And all it is a front, a back, sleeves, and once I cut everything out, had it all together, then I measured around my neckline. I did a little scoop neckline adjustment that she has in her packet, and then I created a rectangle that was a little bit smaller, that ends up, I think it was like 28 inches by 16, and then I folded it. So it's one of my favorite tops. It fits beautifully. I probably should have made the sleeves a little bit narrower, but you know, it all works. And then I was at Elfriede's Fabrics in Boulder. You need to go. If you are in the Denver area, Boulder area, they have the most gorgeous fabrics. And this was one of them. This was a panel, and I showed this on a fabric haul just a few weeks ago. So be sure to check out that video and like and subscribe. So this was a panel. I bought 2 panels, and it wasn't cheap. I'll tell you that. It wasn't. And I loved it. Now, I will tell you, I was making like a little band, like a t-shirt band to go around. I did not like it. So what I did was I cut that band out, and I had just enough fabric to create this cowl. So I made it just a little bit deeper in the front. And now it's one of my favorite tops. I just think it reminds me of Georgia O'Keeffe. What do you think? So I just laid it out. Simple top, takes like an hour and a half to make. And I used it from the Fit Nice system. Now there is something, I used the Fit Nice system for this top. This, you know, sometimes you make something you don't really like. I got the fabric from Spoonflower, which is awesome. Do get a sample. This knit was a little bit heavier, and so I don't really know if I'll wear it. We'll see. So it ended up being too low, so then I put the 2 bands. I just, you know, kept creating some ideas to create some interest. I don't know, I might wear it. It's a little bit long for me. I probably need to shorten it just a bit. But you know, not everything you buy and make you will wear. This might be one of them. I don't know. We'll see. I think the fabric's super cute. It was a little duller than I thought it was going to be much brighter, because they print the pattern onto the fabric. So I chose it. It was my choice, and so I don't know. We'll see. Not one of my favorites. Okay, so this is a McCall's pattern. This isn't the Fit Nice, but I love this fabric. It's like a double knit, and I remember back in the 80s we hated double knit. Now it's back, and it's so much more modern and pretty. I made it a little bit too short. So when we were in New York City, we went to a little trim company, and I bought this trim. And right now it's only pinned on. But I just thought, I've discovered I need a little bit of length for me. So I love this. I think it'll be really cute once I get it finished. There's a little pocket right here. This fabric was super easy to work with. And I just serged it, was all I did. So again, a super easy pattern. Now back to the patterns, the Fit Nice pattern. I've been making jackets. This is one of them. This is a bomber style jacket where I do have a pocket. You can kind of see it right here. I just have, it's built into the side seam, and I'm gonna have another video just for that technique. You can put it in anything. You can put it in pants, jackets, tops, super easy to make and wear. And here was another jacket. I'm sorry, this was in my cleaners. I can wash it, but it was on the floor in my closet and I wanted to show you. But this was the first jacket I made. It's a little stiff. I got this fabric at Fabricate in Boulder, and it is washable. It's cotton. I want to show you something kind of fun that I did. I added little pockets right here to put like a credit card in, and I got this tip from Judy. It's not mine. And then a place for a cell phone on the inside. And I made sure my cell phone fits in there, and it does. And I didn't want these to flap out because they just kind of stuck out, because this is a pretty stiff, crisp fabric. So I just pulled it back and then locked it in with a button. Made a couple of, I guess made one buttonhole and got the bigger button. So this is a really fun jacket to wear. It goes with black, khaki, cream. So I love it. And then it's self-faced here in the front. You can tell it needs ironed. And I just did a fun little fabric. I forget what this one was called. I got this one at Joann's just to make the linings, just to be a little different, be kind of fun. So the jacket, this one, I'll say this is made out of a scuba. And a scuba, I've never sewn with it before. I never even heard of it until recently. So it must be kind of a new fabric. I don't know. It has a little bit of stretch to it. And again, I made this from the Fit Nice pattern. It's just a front, a back, and sleeves. And then I made the sleeves a little bit shorter and put this band on. When you put the knit band on, you want the band to be slightly smaller so it kind of pulls in. And then I put this little band on here, and it zips up. And it does have a band on the bottom. So it's just very nice, loose fitting. This is the most comfortable jacket that I own right now. And I didn't line it. I didn't, you know, unlined is just much more comfortable inside. So the jacket I made last night was out of that same pattern. I used a princess line. So I had to do some maneuvering here. I kind of wanted, this is a cotton jacquard that I got at Elfriede's. I mean, it is gorgeous. It's been washed, so it's 100% cotton. And I wanted to use both sides. So I created the collar. You can see this is just a mandarin type collar. I created a collar in the light color, created the band, and self-faced. So this was on the fold, the center front was on the fold. And I put in the side pockets. I didn't have enough fabric. I bought 2.5 yards. So the inside ended up being some lining that I had in my stash. So I believe the lining is acetate, so I might not be able to wash it anymore. But I'm gonna put some buttons. Oh yeah, here they are. I got these buttons to put on here. And I just folded it back, and here, I'll put this on. I folded back the lapel, or created a lapel, because otherwise it kind of stick out, and I would have needed to put something in there, maybe, you know, a button like I did with that blue jacket. So I just created a little lapel, and I'm going to put the buttons in here, and it has, you know, pockets here on the side. So I've just, and this one, I can put things in here if I need to. And then what I did was, the way I construct is like from bottom up when I'm doing something with a princess line, or even, you know, anything with a pocket, because I kind of put my pockets in first, and then I layer this way. So once this facing mat, you know, goes through with the back, I created a back facing on here. But I had this open piece, so I just stitched it down. I pinned it all down, and then I did a double needle stitch down through here just to hold it all together. So pretty simple construction. The trickiest thing might have been putting on the collar, you know, kind of going around the side. I wanted to make sure that it was, that it fit really nice. I wanted a little bit of laps here. Some people like to have them all the way to the front, but again, it creates, oh, I want to show you. The back is smaller than the front on my, so you can kind of see the collar. So, and that, I like it like that because it makes the collar stand up in the back, and then you can create a lapel with your iron in the front. So this is a fun one that I'm going to get a lot of wear. So this is what I've been making in the last 4 or 5 months, and I have a lot of projects on the horizon and making some for some of my friends and family. So be sure to stay tuned, and I'll be doing some sew alongs. So I've got one in the works coming up from a top that is a free indie pattern off of Itch to Stitch. So I've already created the video for how to use a PDF pattern. Be sure to check that one out. I'll put the link below. And like and subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and come over to Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram right now. That's just my favorite place to be, seems like. And so be sure to check out all the links below. I don't know if there will be any affiliate links. If there are, I will note it. And an affiliate link just means I get a little piece of the sale, but it doesn't bother, you know, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't change the pricing at all for you. So I am affiliated with Love Notions and currently Amazon. So those might be down there. But have fun sewing, take your time. I'm going to be back in with some sewing techniques, how to set up your machine, how, you know, preparation is key, obviously. And then of course we like the final garment. So I hope you like what I've made. I've been sewing up a storm, and I'm going to continue to sew through my stack, and I'll be sharing on here soon. So have a wonderful day and a wonderful holiday season, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.